The big Halloween update for Apex is here, and it holds lots of cool little secrets and updates, like an insane Ash nerf, cool new weapons, probably the most OP wildcards ever, and more. But let's start off with another Ash nerf that Respawn pushed, and this is the biggest one yet. You see, Respawn pushed a small update last week, where they nerfed the Peacekeeper and Altar. But in this update, people started to realise Ash had received a nerf as well, but Respawn hadn't announced it. Many people noticed Ash's dash distance had sizably decreased, and after some testing, it was clear. And then it got confirmed a few hours later when Respawn tweeted this: Legends, a couple of quick changes are now live in Apex. Altar's Down's Nexus teleport now works as intended, and also, we reduced Ash's dash speed by around 30%. Continuing by saying, Ash has been dominant for much of the year, ever since we both added her dash passive and improved her abilities. We have been trying to bring her down to earth through a series of balance changes over the last few months, but we have been reluctant to touch the dash passive speed or distance since players are having fun with it. The latest change is finally changing the speed of her dash, as we feel the data shows that reducing the power of the rest of her kit, even increasing the cooldown of her dash, wasn't enough to bring her in line with the rest of the roster. And when we look over at the pick rates, this change has definitely affected Ash heavily. She now has a 10% pick rate, only 1% above Sparrow. Bear in mind, just last week, she had double the pick rate of Sparrow. And honestly, people were really happy about this change, and because Ash is now fine, they've already found a new thing to demonize. The 30-30 needs a nerf apparently. A few days after this patch went live, Respawn pushed another update to the game, and this time it was the Raise Hell event, which is a milestone event which brings really cool stuff honestly, including a new wildcard map variant and brand new wildcard perks which are genuinely insane. And obviously the Mad Maggie Mythic skin, which I'll talk about later because it does have a really cool hidden technology within it. But honestly, the new Kings Canyon After Dark map is really fun. There's now a river of blood running through the middle and floating nesses are back in the game. Also, the map has a new skybox with multiple planets in it. I think this is because the original Kings Canyon After Dark also had planets in it, and on top of that there's loads of cool little hidden things, like if you use a gravity cannon or gravity pad, it will scream. Yes, they've changed the sound effect to screams. Also, when you open up loot bins, loads of bats come out, or a zombie grunt from Titanfall 2 will come out. This has kind of been a reoccurring thing in Halloween events for Apex. I'm glad to see it return for another year. Also, you may notice something pretty cool. The Evo orbs in this event are now little pumpkins, and pretty much every point of interest has new lighting or tiny little changes. Honestly, it's a solid After Dark map, and it keeps the visibility really well. We also have a load of new items in the Halloween version of Wildcard, like the Revenant Schools. They are back for the third year in a row, I believe. These things are basically homing missiles, and if you use them right, you can put massive pressure on your enemies, because they will basically have a grenade chasing them and also taunting them. Yeah, if you hold the Revenant School, he has specific voice line taunts related to specific legends, which is pretty cool to experiment around with. As well as this, we do have more technically new items. Basically, Respawn renamed all of the mythic items, so they're either movie references or just scary references. For example, the mythic Hemlock is now the Chest Burster, much like the Chest Burster out of Alien obviously. Also, the Rampage is now the Killing Spree, the Kraber is now the Evil Eye, and the Peacekeeper is the Rest in Peace. I kind of wish they put in brackets at the end of this, Keeper. I think that would be funny. But honestly, after playing some Halloween Wildcard, I can say the new map is cool, but the clear highlight for me at least are the new wildcards, because they have a weird little system. Basically now there are two categories of wildcard: Reaper wildcards or Demon wildcards. And the first time you enter a replicator, you will have a choice between a Reaper wildcard and a Demon wildcard, and whenever you choose one of these two categories, you are locked to it for the rest of the game. I'm just going to say it straight, the Reaper wildcards are by far the best. For example, Reaper has a wildcard called High Velocity, where it increases your movement speed overall, it basically gives you a constant Bangalore passive. And in my opinion, this is one of the best wildcards they've ever added, and if you use a shotgun with this wildcard, you go absolutely crazy. And especially if you use Maggie and a shotgun with this wildcard, you go crazier because you get such an insane combat speed with Maggie's shotgun passive and also the wildcard. The only downside with this card is the fact that you move faster while aiming, so sometimes it can throw your aim off because it kind of breaks the muscle memory. Otherwise, you can literally tank through gas with this, it's insane. Another Reaper wildcard is called Monstrous Strength, which increases your outgoing damage, so you can kill enemies way faster, and this increased damage applies to every aspect of your character, your guns, your punching, your abilities. For example, my body shot damage with the P20 before I got Monstrous Strength was 24, and then when I got Monstrous Strength, it turned into 28. The enemies melted like butter. So once again, this is kind of a must pick up wildcard on Reapers. Another crazy good Reaper wildcard is Drain Gain, where you recover health when dealing damage to enemies. So you basically have a siphon of the enemy's health for every single shot. And I combined the speed, the strength, and the siphon to make an absolute tank build. I've got to say, this is probably the best build in wildcard. The Demon wildcards are okay. On the Demon side, Wall Runner returns, and also you can get Critical Roll, which gives you critical hits with your guns. Also on Demons, Crackerjack is back, and the Speedy Charge wildcard where you can pop cells and reload faster is definitely good. But I think overall, at least for my playstyle, Reaper is better. Here are all of the wildcards in case you want to decide which one's best for you. But honestly, as much as I miss Shadow Royale and do wish it came back, this is probably the best non-Shadow Royale Halloween mode they have put out in a long time. When they did the Harbingers event, it honestly just wasn't hitting like this does. But honestly, I'm really sad that I can't combine the Wall Running wildcard with the increased movement speed wildcard because they are on different teams. I just hope one day that Respawn do a Titanfall wildcard takeover and just add a ton of Titanfall abilities as wildcards. That would be absolutely amazing. But this event also has skins obviously, and the skins come in a milestone event where the Mad Maggie Prestige skin is the top reward. Honestly, in my opinion, the skins are the complete opposite of wildcards. This time around, the Reapers are a bit meh, and the Demons have the best skins. Seriously, look at this Caustic and Horizon skins, some of the absolute best. The weapon skins are alright, but the clear winner within the weapon skins is the Last Gasp Kraber. This thing looks absolutely awesome. But over to the Mad Maggie Prestige skin, this one's a bit controversial because not many people are too into it. I must say the finisher is pretty solid and pretty brutal, but I feel like they could have done a bit more with the ball in the finisher. One really cool thing I noticed though, on the tier 2 of the Maggie Prestige skin, the spikes on her shoulders and body have a really cool effect where they have no true edge. They have like a cell shaded cartoon edge, so whatever angle you're looking at them from, they have a black outline. This is a really cool effect, and it does kind of look like Respawn testing cell shaded skins and how they look, just simply because of how this interacts. This was the first thing that caught my attention in the trailer, and honestly it translates really well into game. But unfortunately, this really cool unique effect is lost in the final phase of the skin, where the spikes turn golden. If you're going to buy any coins for this event using the EA app or the EA web store where you can buy cross-platform coins, definitely use code GRRT on checkout because it does really help the channel. But if you don't want to buy any coins, there is a free reward store, and one of the offered items is of course an event pack for 1000 pumpkins. All you have to do is play to earn these, and also you can buy a full tracker set for 800. This is a really cool tracker set, some really nice colors, and I'm happy that it's free because it feels like tracker sets being free is a rare thing to come across these days. Additionally, you can get an epic pack as well. Here's another one for my free-to-play players. If you like any of the legendary legend skins, you can just craft them as well. But before you craft them, I would wait to see what your free event packs are going to drop you, because Respawn did confirm when the reward shop resets, it will bring back another event pack that you can buy. But honestly, this Halloween event isn't Shadow Royale or Shadowfall, but it's still very fun. If anything though, it's just made me hope that we get a wildcard Titanfall LTM very, very soon. Subscribe to see if that happens, and remember, use code GRRT because I'll love you forever.